Hey everyone, Rabbi Abe here. Welcome. I'm excited to share with you what's going on now in the cosmos, not necessarily in terms of astrology alone also, but rather the energy that now has come about and is coming about, is developing all the way until and even through the month of Scorpio. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. We've just come through the holidays, and I'm speaking to you. This video is being recorded the day after the Yom Kippur. Now, a lot happens cosmically during this time. What happens after Yom Kippur, and for quite a while after that, is something that we call the light of mercy. Light of mercy begins to develop and come in to us. It's automatic. There's actually nothing you really need to do actively. Well, there are some things which I'll tell you about. And this light of mercy is responsible for the quality of our life, not less than that, quality of our life. The purpose of these holidays and events was to draw down energy. But we have to understand that just energy on its own doesn't necessarily mean that that energy will manifest in a positive way. It should, but a lot of it depends on our actions. Unless we understand this secret, which is the secret of light of mercy. Secret of the light of mercy. I want to read to you from the text of 10 luminous emanations. This is something that I do one-on-one classes with certain individuals who really have a desire to learn the deeper teachings of Kabbalah. Anyone who might be interested, you can schedule a meeting and we can talk about it to see if you're a good candidate for that. But he says like this, and I'm just pulling it out from the middle of the teaching. He says, Or chokhmah, the atzmut of the partsuf. There's another light which is called the light of wisdom. We've spoken about it, and we're coming to a great time in the month of Scorpio of lots of light of wisdom. We'll talk about that in the future. But light of wisdom is the raw energy. It's the energy that can potentially fulfill us with any type of fulfillment. That's what it is. It's called, codename, light of wisdom. The light of wisdom. It's the raw energy that comes from God. Okay? However, a lot of people don't seem to understand, and this is something that Kabbalah explains really well, that there's a mechanism. It's not just, okay, there's God, and then there's us, and just ask God for things, and, if that works for you, I'm the last one to tell you change anything. Please don't. Do what you do. But depending on your soul, okay, and it is a lot depending on your soul, while having faith is a good thing, but, for many people, just having faith is not enough. We need to be educated on how the system works, which is what Kabbalah explains. Okay? I happen to have been one of those people, and I still am. I want to know more and more what's going on cosmically and how things work. It enables me to have more control, or at least the sense of control, of what goes on in my life. The more you understand the system, the more control you get. I mean, that is a fact of life, and that's true of anything, okay? Pretty much. So the Creator is the force of the raw energy of God. We cannot connect directly to that. Now, in the Torah, there's a verse, that says that God says to Moses, I will pass all of my glory before you. I'll make for you a place in the rock, meaning like in the crevice of a mountain, and as I pass by. And Moses says, but I want to see you. I want to see your face. And God says, no, I will pass with all of my glory, and you will see only my back. You can only see my back. What does that mean? It's exactly what we're speaking about now. You will only see my back. This is called the light that returns, returning light. We are unable, and this is the way the Kabbalah explains it, to receive what is called or yashar, straight light. None of us can, by the way. It doesn't matter what you believe. None of us are capable of receiving straight light. I will prove it to you. For how many of you does instant gratification last long term? I'll wait. Oh, nobody? Because it doesn't. It never does. Instant gratification, taking what we desire now, reacting to our desires now, taking our fulfillment now, doesn't work long term. Oh yes, we get a lot of energy. That's for sure true. We do get a lot of energy. It's in the form of high. It's a high, but it doesn't last. It's always going to be stronger. The example that I use of the chocolate cake, if you love the chocolate mousse cake and you go out with your friends and listen, you tell them, look guys, I'm off of carbs and sugar. And they say, okay, that's good for you. Okay, but we're going to order dessert. And what do they order? Your favorite dessert, the chocolate mousse cake. And they're all getting the chocolate mousse cake and you're watching them eat it and it's so good. And you're like, you're salivating at the mouth. And the waiter comes and looks at you. You said, you sure you wouldn't like a piece? And you're there thinking and you're watching all of that. You haven't had carbs or sugar in 6 months. Your system is clean. And you tell the waiter, you know what, okay, bring me a slice. So he brings you a slice and you take a bite of that and it's the best chocolate mousse cake you ever had. And you gobble that thing up. How do you feel immediately? Wow, it's so good, it's amazing. But I can almost sign for you that a short time after, you don't feel so good. And I'm not talking about physically. No, even physically, you're probably not going to feel that good either, by the way. You know that if you're in touch with your food, which I'm sure many of you are. But emotionally, mentally, you also don't feel so good. You feel, was it worth it? I let myself down. I didn't do what I said. I ruined my eating, for the whatever. That great pleasure, it's not the same anymore. It doesn't feel the same anymore. Now, imagine the waiter, when he came back to you and said, you sure you don't want a piece? And you said, no, but I'll have an apple. Now, an apple is not in no way is going to compare to the chocolate mousse cake. But it's sweet, it's nice, fruit, maybe it's good, I don't know, debatable, is it healthy? It's not healthy. Okay, good, not a bad thing. And you have your apple, they finish their cake, and you finish your apple. Do you feel the intense high? You don't. But do you feel good? Yeah. You feel physically good? But more importantly, you feel emotionally good. In fact, you feel good about yourself. You know what? I had my willpower, I did it, I made it, whatever, I overcame it. And there's going to be a feeling of satisfaction, even a little accomplishment in that moment. And by the way, what do you think? Is that going to go away? No, that's not going to go away. That's going to stay with you forever. Might even get a little better as time goes on. You're going to remember the time. Wow, it burned an impression in your mind that you overcame that chocolate mousse cake, right? But in any case, that satisfaction is not going away. So it's a lower intensity, true, but it's going to stay forever and maybe even get a little better. Now, there are things like that in our life that sometimes, sometimes that's the way it goes. But more often than not, it's the other way around. Instant gratification is called straight light, means connecting directly to the light of wisdom, directly, straight light. Returning light, which was the apple scenario, means I worked, I made effort. Maybe I made some sacrifice. I invested some of my energy in the resistance, using some willpower, call it what you want, resisting the instant gratification and overcoming myself. So I didn't get the immediate gratification. No, I didn't. But I get a long-term feeling of fulfillment, accomplishment, and gratification. What do you think is more building? What do you think is more important for us emotionally, spiritually? What do you think will give us more confidence in life? Yes, confidence is built in this way, one of the ways, okay? Doing actions that create what we call returning light. Returning light is caused by what we call light of mercy, the effort that I made, the energy that I create through my resistance, using my willpower, making an effort. It's called light of mercy. And that light of mercy houses the direct energy called the light of wisdom. I hope this is not too confusing, but it houses the Creator's light in a way that I can receive it. By the way, those of you who think you can connect directly to what you want, well, what do you think the 10 Commandments are about? Even though theoretically they're not really called 10 Commandments, but anyway, don't steal, don't this, don't that. Depending on the kind of person you are, those are the major ways of straight light, right? Do what you want. Steal if you want. Murder if you want, right? That's covet if you want. Adultery or whatever. All the things that are written there are the basic forms of resistance that create returning light. I mean, because, even if we're not a murderer, by the way, there are other ways of murdering. Even though we're not maybe a thief and we think we don't steal, we do in different ways. There's different types of stealing, okay? We can steal someone's happiness. We can steal someone's honor. We can steal someone's respect. We can murder. We can embarrass somebody, which is it's considered a type of murder. So all these different things, again, are ways that we disconnect because it's straight light. It might give you a little boost in the beginning. We judge other people. We can kill them that way, right? We judge each other. We kill them. At least for us, from our perspective, we're killing them right now. Anyway, so the point is, even though we don't think this pertains to us, it pertains to all of us. This is the time, as I started out saying, after the holidays, there's an abundance of this light of mercy available, meaning it's energy as though we're making effort. It will help us. It's energy that will help us draw down the light of wisdom with the light of mercy, with its clothing. Because he says, again, light of wisdom in the structure, meaning the direct light, the gratification, the fulfillment is what draws it. This is what we want. Yes, we want that. But we can't. But the light of mercy, he says, operates as a clothing. This energy operates as a clothing over the light of wisdom. Over the light of wisdom in that structure, since the light of wisdom cannot permeate that place, that vessel, if it doesn't wear the light of mercy first. What he's saying in a nutshell is that the light of wisdom is not sustainable on its own. It must be connected together with the light of mercy. That light that I want, the fulfillment that I want, has to be connected to the work, to the effort, to the resistance, to pushing away what's not good for me, to not just taking what I want, but being willing to invest, earn, put energy into it, sacrifice, whatever's necessary. Again, you want to know more about that, you need to learn. We need to learn together. Okay. So how do we create, what's the best way to create light of mercy in this time? Spiritual work. How do you know what your spiritual work is? Well, what do you think? Why do you think we offer these, Kabbalistic astrology reports? Why? What are they for? Kabbalists don't believe in astrology. A lot of people ask me, well, how is it that you offer astrology if Judaism or the Torah says no astrology? Well, that is true in a way. But you see, how is it that Abraham, the patriarch, was a master of the astrology? But God told him, wait a sec, don't just be governed by your astrology. The stars impel, but they do not compel. Meaning, you, Abraham, you, together with the spiritual tools, you can rise above your astrology. And that's what the Kabbalists use astrology for. Not to be ruled by astrology, not to see, oh, this is how I am, this is the kind of person I am, and that's it. No, definitely not. The only reason why we do these reports, and it's a very detailed report together with Kabbalistic tools, is for what reason? It's to help us understand the spiritual work that we're given, because each one of us on our map is given a certain spiritual work. That's what the map is about. I mean, this is the reason why we just, so when you have the work, when you have the plan, when you understand about yourself in this particular way, then you know what you need to do. Then, of course, I recommend the 72 names. Why? Because the 72 names will help you do your work. I don't know if you know anybody who's already taken this course. It's a master class. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I don't want to be like I'm pushing. I am pushing. Why not? Because it's helping so many people. Thank God. Thank God. The 72 Names of God, master class. Anyway, astrology report. You need to know what it is that you came to this world to do, and you need the tools to do it. People ask me, how do I know what is my correction in life? Well, that's it. I can't talk to all of, I can do this, but I can't talk to everybody as an individual. But this is the way we figured out that I can talk to people, everybody, through these tools, through the courses, right? This is how you can know how to do more of what you came to this world to do. And when you do that, you open up the blockages, you open up the channels for your relationship, for your sustenance, for whatever. Because when you're doing what you came to do, you don't need to be pushed from behind. Understand? The difficulties that we face often in life are why? Why do we often? Because it's to awaken us. Hey, you need to do this, or you need to stop doing that. And, we get the messages softly at first, but then it begins to shout. Eventually, if we don't listen. The universe is designed to operate in a frame of growth. We all came here to grow, one way or the other, and fix, change. Good people suffer. Why good people? Because we didn't come here to be good. I keep telling you. We're not here to be a good person. We're here to change what we came to change. A mother who worries too much about her children will suffer. Unfortunately, is she a bad person? Of course not. But is she going to have a difficult time? Yes, over worry. It's a certain type of correction. It's a karmic correction. We need to learn these things. Simple things and maybe not so simple things, but we came here to learn. We came here to change. We didn't come here to be good. If you came here to be good, what's the reason that you came? No. So if you're a good person, you say, just be a good person and that's it. Yeah, I had that philosophy for a while. But, life wasn't, amazing, the best. But that's what Kabbalah taught me, right? It's not about being good. If you're in this world and you came, you didn't come just to maintain as you came. No, not at all. Never. If you came to this world, you have something to do. You have work to do. If you don't know what that work is, you're going to get pushed. You're going to, I'm not trying to bring anything on to anybody, but that's the way things work, right? We do get pushed. Unfortunately, those challenges sometimes are challenging because we've gotten the message before, and again, the message gets more and more louder, as it were. So we don't want that. We want to be able to use the tools, understand. The more we understand, the more we know how the system works, the more we know how God works, the more God we can get, the more connection we have. All about connection. That's what it's about. Not being smart, not how much you know, but it is about being connected. Listen, I don't consider myself spiritual, not a spiritual person. I am practical. Remember, I have an aviation back. I used to be a pilot, for God's sake. What am I doing for the past almost 40 years teaching Kabbalah? As I said, I'm practical. I'm interested in what works, okay? I'm interested in, change that I can see. That's what Kabbalah gave me. Peace of mind. I mean, I can go down the list, all of it. Blessings. And blessings, remember, are when good is connected to all other good. All those little coincidences, all those things that just happen to work out in spite of the fact that maybe they didn't look like they're going to work out, but they work out anyway in spite of that. And in spite of the fact that you may not know what you're doing all the time, but, you make the correct turn. You make you're in the right place at the right time and not in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what I have to tell you. Anyway, this time, that's a tangent. This time we're tapping into all the light of mercy, even through Scorpio, which is a little bit more harsh. We'll get to that when we get to Scorpio. But But harsh doesn't mean bad. It means intensity. That's why the flood actually happened when? In Scorpio, on the 17th day of lunar Scorpio. Anyway, more to come. Blessings, guys. All the best. I wish all of us to draw down all of that amazing light of mercy that we can. How do we do it? Use the tools. You have to be willing to make the effort. You have to be willing to, know what you need to do in life. Making the effort to do your karmic correction in life, and use tools. We need tools. That's why they're given to us. You can build the house with your hands, or you can use tools that help us make it way easier, more efficient, and faster. Blessings, and I'll see you soon.